Another of my favorite pages inside this diagnostic tool is the search term page. So even though Google is now hiding more data as of September the 1st, 2020, there is still significant search query data in your Google Ads account, and it should be used for maximum effect. So same deal, we've got our filters across the top, same as we had on the keywords tab, and again we've got the campaign and ad group so that we can quickly drill into an individual campaign, and then if we want, we can also then drill down into an individual ad group. The benefit of that being able to see now, we can see all of the search terms that are triggered in that ad group. Is this what we're expecting to see, given maybe the name of that ad group and what you know from managing the account? But now, again, I can easily bounce from ad group to ad group to ad group very, very quickly and see all of that search term data changing almost instantly. Super useful. Even though there's 516 ad groups here spread across these 6 different campaigns, I can easily drill in and see some really interesting data. Let's come back out of here for a second and look at just this campaign. So on the previous page, we were looking at the match types of keywords. Here we're looking at the match types of the queries themselves. One question we might have here is, what's the impact of close variants on this campaign, or maybe on this particular ad group? So you can see in here we're getting lots of impressions to our exact and phrase match query types. Phrase close variants, exact close variants, really not doing too much. But if we go back out to the campaign as a whole, there must be some ad groups in here then that are having quite a big impact. One thing you might want to ask is, what's the difference in performance across my query match types? Now, sadly, that is kind of hard to see with impressions. So we have to remember impressions, that exact and then exact close variant, they were the big two, and then remove impressions. And then we're able to chart our ROAS. Now, what we're looking for here is any major changes here. So, yeah, there is a big difference between exact and phrase close variant. But having seen that, I'm probably not going to, given how little phrase close variant plays into the whole thing here, I'm probably not going to go the next step and try and go find a workaround for getting rid of those close variants, because that can be a lot of work to do. And then lastly, down here, what do we have here? Bubble size represents cost. So the bigger the bubble here, it shows the more spend for a particular search term, which I have forgotten to hide on this chart. I'm hiding them here, but I'm not hiding them there, so I won't roll over the chart too much. And here we're charting cost across here, so the more you're spending, the higher up this end they're going to be, and then conversions on this axis. So if we're getting lots of conversions for the same amount of spend, the bubbles above the trend line there, the bubbles above the line are going to be our better performers, and the bubbles below the line are going to be our worse performers. So by all means, hover over that and see the individual search terms, start to see patterns in that, and start to understand what you might do inside there. The other thing where this filter can be very useful is this can be very good for quickly digging into brand and non-brand campaigns. This isn't going to be particularly useful for this video because I've got multiple accounts linked here, but I can easily look at all of my non-brand performance by choosing search, and then if this were our only brand campaign, I could just untick the brand campaign. Maybe I have multiple brand campaigns. I can just untick the brand campaigns, and now I'm looking at all of my non-brand search terms. So it's a much easier way to do this than if you've played with Data Studio before. You might have been fiddling around with regex match terms, trying to push the right search queries in. It has to be set up differently every time with every single report that you do. This is a much easier way to do it. So just look at all of your search campaigns, exclude any brand campaigns, and now you're looking at all of your non-brand campaigns, your non-brand ad groups, and the search terms within those. And that might help you quickly identify huge winners like this, where you're spending a bit of money and it's doing a much better job than everything else here because it's way above the line. So enjoy using this page and digging in and finding insights.